Welcome to the Tyler Fischer Show. I'm Alec Baldwin, filling in for Tyler Fischer. He won't be hosting the show today because he's, let's just say, a little hungover from accidentally drinking a CBD seltzer water last night. So I'll be filling in for Tyler, and I'll be whispering, as I always do. Squinting and whispering. That's what I do.
Hey, everybody. It's Tyler. It's not Alec Baldwin. I just want to be honest with you and up front. I was lying right then and there when I said that I was Alec Baldwin. I'm not Alec Baldwin. I want to clear that up. I just want, because look, my TikToks are getting banned. I don't want YouTube to ban me for being inauthentic. So I want to come clean. I want to make a public apology. I was lying. I'm sorry if anybody got hurt. I'm sorry if you were triggered by hearing Alec Baldwin's voice. He might be could be a triggering sound for you. Whispering could be a microaggression, and I apologize for that, and I take responsibility. But in other words, how are you? How are you doing? Thank you for joining me today. It's very nice of you. Very, very nice of you. Happy to see you. Good to see you. I'm drinking coffee. Just wanted to get that out of the way. This will be a coffee episode. It won't be a tea episode. So, in other words, it's going to be a little more fun than your classic tea Tyler. Last time, I was drinking tea. I'm drinking coffee today, so it's going to be a good time. This is one of my few vices that I have left, is the sweet, sweet coffee bean. Yeah, there's a lot going on. So much to say. I was like, I'm not going to be that guy that says that in the beginning of the show. It's like, oh, what a week, man. We got a lot to talk about. We have so much has happened in this week. I was like, I'm not going to be that guy. But a lot has happened. And spring is springing. Spring is sprung. What you forget about if you live in a big city. Because all you're thinking about is, oh, sweet, sweet summer is on its way, and everything's going to be okay, everything's going to be fine. This is my theory on summer or spring in a big city or a place like New York City. You have about 10 good days. So you have 10 good days in the spring, and you have 10 good days in the fall. It's colder than a witch's titty in the winter, and it's brutal, and it's a disgusting place to live, and it's just like diarrhea slush everywhere. The mud mixes with the snow, and you go, oh, spring's going to come. Then you get that one warm day, and everybody's happy, and that only lasts about 10 days before the real heat comes, and then you remember, oh, this city also sucks in the summer. Your air conditioning's broken. Most people don't have them. The cockroach? Oh, you forget about the cockroach, don't you? You forgot about the cockroach. And then all of a sudden, there's fucking rats and cockroaches, and you're playing Pac-Man, dodging these rodents and disgusting little fucking brown little creatures, and they're in your house, and you got rats, and you got mice, and you're on the verge of being evicted, and your family won't talk to you anymore, and you got no jobs, and your jokes aren't working, and your beard is starting to get bigger than your face. All of these things happen every time. So I think we're about to pass our 10 days of our 10-day grace period. So that just know that if you move to New York City, you got 10 good days in the spring and 10 nice days in the fall. The rest of it is shit. It's just shit. Unless you buy a seltzer machine, which I just did for my birthday. I got a bronze Arc, AARKE. This is not a sponsored ad, by the way. I should just start doing ads and just see if these companies will pay me. I got a beautiful bronze Arc seltzer maker. Have the perfect cup of bubbly seltzer. Arc. If anyone watches this show that works at Arc, go ahead and you can just send me a check. But I got myself a birthday present because I think it's good to buy yourself a physical gift for your birthday. So I spent This thing costs, it's not cheap. It was $250, but I drink seltzer every day. I spend about $9,000 on seltzer every month, so it'll be a savings sooner or later. It'll be a savings. So go get yourself a seltzer machine. The other thing you have to prepare for in the city. This is what the wild journey of having the seasons. Everybody's been covered up. Everyone had their winter jackets on and their hats on and their masks. We haven't really seen people. Dude, I did a show the other day outside and no one was wearing a mask. I'm not kidding. I fucking freaked out. I saw a nose. I saw some guy's nose. It was kind of a long nose. And I was like, what is that? I haven't even seen noses. I had to recalibrate. My brain had to be like, oh, foreign object, what is it? What is it? 2 holes, long, triangular shape. I was like, oh my God, that's a nose. And I freaked out. I had a little freak out because I didn't recognize it. So not only typically when it's not a pandemic, I can't even handle seeing, like, dude, you don't see skin for 6-7 months, and then suddenly, like, you see some babe with her like pant rolled up an inch, and you see like a little sliver of an ankle, and it's like, oh my God, I feel like fucking Jimmy Stewart in 1954. Oh wow, I wasn't prepared to see such beautiful skin. Oh, look at that creamy ankle. Oh, look at it. I just want to pour honey all over it. I do. And now it's like you're seeing, I was in the park the other day. It was like, basically COVID's done in New York. Like Woodstock, the entire park is covered and you're seeing faces and noses and ankles. I couldn't really take it. I couldn't take it. By the way, I should mention this. My therapist is gone this week, so this will be a little bit of a combination therapy session and podcast. So if I sound a little unhinged, that you know why. And we're down to 1 session a week. So he gave me a talk the other day. He's like, look, man, that's what he calls me. He goes, look, man, hey, dude. He said, you're doing really well. And I think we should go down to 1 session a week. And I was like, you're not my real dad. I was a little upset. But he was right. I'm kicking ass. I'm doing well. So now we only do 1 session a week. And his goal, he said, look, you need to, instead of relying on me twice a week or whatever, he said, now you need to give yourself therapy on the day that you're not going to see me. So that's Tuesday. I used to see him Tuesday and Friday. Now I just see him on Friday. Sort of a good bookend for the week. I go over all the things that I did, get some accountability, celebrate the wins of the week. But now I don't have that Tuesday thing, and I can kind of feel it right now. But it worked. Last week, instead of having therapy, I did heroin, and that worked for me. It seemed to work for me. I don't know what'll work for you, but that worked for me. No, I didn't do heroin. I just journaled, and I'm starting to build like some social networks. I didn't used to have a lot of close friends, and now I've got some friends, which is great. I highly recommend. Hey, this episode is brought to you by Friends. That's Friends. Find them in the park, Subway, cafe. Do things with them. That's Friends, FRIENDS. Use code LOSER for 10% off. So I was able to go, okay, yeah, I don't like to dump on people, because before I had therapy, I was a dumper, all right? I was a big dumper. I would dump on people because I didn't have a healthy place to put it. Now, the bulk of my dumps, most of my dumps go to my therapist. I dump a lot in there, and then whatever's left over, I can share with a friend. So I was able to allocate my dumps across friend circles. And it worked. I'll tell you, it worked. By the way, if anyone ever says they give themselves therapy. And look, I'm just doing this in replace of my second therapy session. Most people, I don't think, go to therapy twice a week. And if you're wondering, how's Tyler doing emotionally? Just know I was going to therapy twice a week. And I had support groups and all sorts of things. But if anyone ever says, if someone's like super against this will be a new segment, I think, in the show called Red Flags. Here's a red flag for you. This episode's red flag. If you ask someone if they go to therapy and they go, ugh, yeah, I don't need it. I don't need it. Therapy, I don't need it. I give myself therapy. Really? Do ya? You lay down on the couch and you talk to yourself? You could do that non-biasedly, non-objective criticism of yourself? You can't. I was romantically interested in a gal once, only once, and I decided not to pursue her because she was so anti-therapy that it was alarming. If some people are just grounded, they had a good upbringing, they're doing okay, they might not need it. I think everyone does need it, and I'd say even if you think you don't need it, this would be my biggest tip for anyone who's on the fence. I wish I didn't wait until I hit absolute rock bottom to go to therapy. I thought, wouldn't it have been nice if I just had a therapist and had a good relationship with them so I can just go in and not completely fall to the depths of hell. So I do it myself. I self-diagnose. That's a new thing. Do you know that? It's becoming a law, I believe. I believe it's a law. I should do some research on this. But in some cases now, in some states, and I can see this spreading across the country. If you go into this is crazy, by the way. If you go into a therapist's office and you say, I have borderline personality disorder, I'm diagnosing myself. Some states, by law, they aren't even allowed to challenge that. They have to take your self-diagnoses at face value. That is bonkers to me. That's dangerous because the role of the therapist is to get to the bottom of it and kind of lay it all on the table and figure out, maybe you have borderline personality disorder, or maybe, you're drinking tea instead of coffee and you're not living life to the fullest and you're angry and resentful because you go out and have a cup of tea and you're not feeling that good jolt here from the bean. Or maybe maybe it's allergies. Maybe it's allergies. Maybe you're bipolar. Maybe you're schizophrenic, or maybe you have allergies. Because all day you're going, no, fuck, what the fuck, God damn it, fuck, I've got syphilis. You know what? Maybe it's allergies. I have severe allergies that I confuse with other things all the time. So you need that. I remember when I went into therapy, I nearly begged my therapist to diagnose me with bipolar disorder because I had all this anger and angst and anxiety, and my mood would swing, and I just, from what I knew about it, I go, it's bipolar, and I just need her to sign the thing, and I'll get medicine, and then that's what I'll do. Thank God she did not go along with that. She was like, okay, well, let's go ahead and we'll table that, all right? We'll put a pin in it, and we're going to circle back. Okay? I was like, okay, fine. But we better circle back quick, because I want those pills. That's also what I sounded like, so I thought I had some sort of, probably just some kind of a personality disorder. Anyhow, my point is, I am not bipolar. And we got to the bottom of all the anger and the mood swings. Like my sleep is fucked up. I only sleep. A good therapist will do a behavioral analysis on your life. If you go in, you go, I'm suicidal, and they go, okay, well, let's just punch a pillow. No, you want to figure out what are the behaviors in your life that might be causing some of these things? You can start to brush off the cobwebs. For me, one of my main things right now is figuring out my sleep. I still have extreme night terrors. I'm still sleepwalking. I still wake up gasping for air. So I am going to have to go in and do a test with the sleep mask, the sleep app thing, and figure out, okay, is my, because my lack of sleep might be contributing to 80% of my anger when I have anger, or my angst, or my fatigue. And it took 3 years, and I'm still on the journey, but you got to lay out your life and figure out what you're doing, I used to stay up till 2, 3, 4 in the morning watching the pornography. I'm a quick comer, so it wasn't a long thing. Thank God. I got to just say this. If you're a premature ejaculator, and I wouldn't say I'm a premature ejaculator, I'm just, it's probably from watching pornography. I think that's the thing, is like starting at age 10, seeing those images, like it's a little quick coming there. So I just lucked out that I didn't last very long. So I really wouldn't watch porn for very long. I really needed like 5 minutes and I was off to bed. But what the fuck were we talking about? Yes, behavioral analysis of your life. And you could do it on your own a little bit, I'd say, but it's good to have somebody who's not connected to your life, who can be more watching from a bird's eye view. And couldn't be happier that I found therapy. Good Lord. So the ankles are out. The mask is out. The masks are off for the most part in the park. It's still really hard to know. I made this decision. I was going to stop asking women out. Let's say I'd meet a woman somewhere and they'd be like, I'll follow you on Instagram. And then I'd look them up on Instagram, look at all their pictures, and then start getting obsessed and then write them a message. I decided I'm not doing that anymore. If I meet somebody and I'm interested, I am going to just say, hey, can I have your number? I'd like to go out with you. I can't believe how hard that is to do nowadays, given the ease of asking somebody out on Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Black People Meet, the Farmers Only. It's tough. But I'm like, the thing I do like about all of this, I do think it slowed things down in a good way, as far as not rushing into relationships or rushing into sex or any of that stuff. COVID, everyone's so paranoid and they have their own rules, so it kind of slowed things down, and I think in a good way. But like when I'm writing women messages on Tinder, it's so odd because you have to like check it. Everything's like, if you're okay with this and this, and we'll sit apart. Writing somebody a message on Tinder now, during COVID, it feels like you're writing them like a love letter in 1843. It's just like,
Dear Catherine, I'd like to inquire as to your interest to meet me in the flesh. I am available on Tuesday, a fortnight from tonight. Perhaps we can meet at sundown under the rusty bridge near the moss-covered pond. I will be the man with the long, unwashed hair and the dark green mask. I haven't seen a human in 7 months, so please do not look me directly in the eye, for I spook easily nowadays. I want to respect your wishes on how close we shall or shall not become. I promise to keep my distance at least 6 feet, and I wouldn't dare lay a hand on you without your consent. P.S. If all goes well on our encounter, would you perhaps be down to fuck? Sincerely, Tyler III. My horse is injured at the moment, so it might take me a few weeks to get back to you. I also have syphilis. You've been warned. So it's nice, but it's also probably kind of a turnoff for women because they are, they like someone to take charge, I think. Speaking of take charge, I got this cool crystal. Somebody sent me on Instagram. A very sweet fan on Instagram. I don't think I'm going to mention her name because I don't want
I don't think that's appropriate to do. But she's very sweet and sent me this crystal, and maybe I'll check in with her and let her know. Ask if I can say the name of her company. But I believe she sells these on Etsy, I believe, and is supposed to get negative feelings out. So when I see somebody I don't like, I hit him over the head with the crystal and just kind of get the negativity out of my life. So keeping this near, get those energies good and clean. Get them clean. All right, let's talk about it. The vaccine passport. What do you think? What are your thoughts? I wasn't happy when I heard it. If you don't know, I believe New York might be the first to roll out what's called a vaccine passport to keep a record of whether or not you're vaccinated, when you've been tested. I got an icky feeling when I saw that. Feels like a bit of an overreach. It feels a little scary to me. I don't know. I don't like it. I don't like it. Especially coming from all spaghetti Cuomo. It's all spaghetti. This is not all spaghetti. This is a big bowl of meatballs. And what the fuck, by the way, you know? So we're going to need an ID. We're going to need an ID, a passport ID thing, which shows you're vaccinated, to get into a bar. That's unfair, a little unfair. Governor Cuomo didn't even need an ID to enter the mini skirt of his intern. Bada bang, it's all for gotcha. It's all for gotcha. That's what we do. We corner you, we grab you, and we say, I forgot ya. Salty focaccia with olives on top. So that, I don't think it's going to go over well. I just don't think it's going to go over well. They should do that for online dating, right? Before you fuck someone, you have to scan. Hey, I'm sorry, before you enter me, you're going to have to scan your herpes passport. No one cares about that shit. No one gives a shit about STDs anymore. No one really cares about much other than COVID. Is that weird? Most of the people I know, actually, I'd say, I don't know, maybe 7 out of 10 women that I've slept with insist on fucking without a condom, which is always alarming to me. A lot of the people in my social circles don't have sex without condoms. We don't care about that, but you need to get tested for this thing that affects mostly very old, very obese, and very sick people. Something ain't right. Something ain't right, I'll tell you right now. Something ain't right. Ain't right. One problem I see with it is a lot of people have extreme phobia around needles. And I do a little bit. I pass out when I get blood drawn. I'm also 18 pounds, but I got to bring juice boxes. I'm not kidding. I have to lie down. I've passed out. I've fallen off of the table, passed out. I was taken to the hospital once. This dumb fuck. I'm on Medicaid, so I get the worst medical treatment you can imagine. And I passed out. They rushed me to the hospital. I woke up in the hospital. They're like, why are you here? You've got a little dizzy from getting your blood drawn. I was like, it's a good question. It's a good question. But can I sleep tonight? Because my roommate is having a date over. I don't want to hear that. So what about the people that have the extreme fears? I don't know how many it would. Just a guesstimate, I'd say it's at least 5%. I'd say 5. That feels like a healthy guess. 5% of the population has an extreme fear of needles. Maybe it's 3%. I don't know. They're not going to get it. They're just not. And I don't think it's right to ask people to who have that extreme fear to get a shot, to be able to go to the grocery store, to be able to fly. Look, I mean, think about it this way. What if you were claustrophobic? What if you had a claustrophobia and the cure for COVID, or the vaccine for COVID, involved you going into a small closet? You go to a bar, you're like, table for 3. They're like, wait a minute, hold on. Can you get into this small plastic container? What? Yeah, I'm just gonna have to ask you to get into this small plastic container before we go inside. You'd be like, oh yeah, I'm gonna just cook, I guess, at home. What if you're arachnophobia? What if you have a fear of spiders? To fly to go on vacation before you get on the plane, they're like, I just need you to kiss this tarantula. You're like, what? Yeah, just go ahead and kiss this tarantula before you get on the plane. Can you just put this snake around your neck before? I have a crippling fear of snakes and spiders. Are these good analogies? Are these even analogies? What are these? Can I get a producer in here? Keep me on fucking check. I think what I'm saying makes somewhat of sense. I think it does. If they were like, hey, before you go in Madison Square Garden, we're gonna need you to eat some of this cilantro, I'd be like, go fuck yourself. I'm not putting soap in my mouth. Yes, I have the soap disease with cilantro. I believe 30% of the population has it, based on a New York Times article, actually. So when I touch cilantro to my tongue, it tastes like I've put in a fucking bar of soap in my mouth. And I would choose to not go see Billy Joel or John Mayer in concert if I had to eat cilantro. I've decided not to get the vaccine. So I'm personally very upset about this. And this was something that I gave a lot of thought to. And by the way, I don't have any problem with anybody wanting to get it. What I want is for people to feel the most comfortable doing what they want to do with their body. That makes me happy. If I have friends that are excited to get the vaccine, I am genuinely excited for them. Because if that means they can feel more free and not fear getting COVID and go visit their parents and not have to be be a bubble boy? Do you ever think you'd relate to the Bubble Boy episode of Seinfeld more in your life? Are you kidding me? We're all the Bubble Boy. We're all the Bubble Boy. He's in a bubble. Oh, you're in a bubble. We're all in a bubble. So I decided not to get it. And I'm basing it on the science that I have. Follow the science. Just follow the science. Follow the science. Okay, I'm following the science related to my age range and health status, and I'm deciding not. No, don't follow that science. What? Don't follow that science. Get the vet. Get it. You need to get it. When are you getting it? Get it. Are you gonna get it? When are you getting it? What kind are you getting? You getting it? You getting the Pfizer? You getting the Pfizer? You getting the fucking Skittles one? What are you getting? You doing the Sour Patch Kids kind? Where it's a little sour when it goes in? What are you getting? Which one are you getting? You getting the Hershey's one? No, I decided not to get it. No, you have to get it. You have to. Well, I'm following the science. No. I'm following. No, just get it. But I'm a little worried. No, yeah, just get it. Just get it. Not getting it. Not gonna do it. Not gonna do it. I know people want me to do it, but I'm not gonna. All right, so I had COVID. I had COVID last year. I had it quite bad. I survived it. I was also incredibly paranoid because we didn't know a lot about it. As far as I can tell, based on the science, the odds of me getting it and dying are basically zero. Basically zero. So to go out and get a vaccine at this point, I realized I would only be doing it to please people, to give. I would be giving into social pressure, and I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it because I'm starting to learn how to follow my own instinct and my own life decisions, which I haven't really done. Aside from becoming a comedian, I've been bending over backwards my whole life, taking it up the rear end. A study just came out that 78% of people that were hospitalized with COVID were obese. I weighed 9 pounds. My mini Labradoodle is twice my weight, okay? When I fly, he gets a seat, and then I have to sit under the stowaway. That's what they tell me. You know? We go to Six Flags. He rides the coasters. He's up on the Superman. He's riding the coasters. I'm waiting in the parking lot because he's of height and weight. I'm not. So that's just a choice. That's a choice I have, and I'm stunned by the pressure. You know, I'm trying not to judge anybody because if you didn't have it before. See, I feel a little fortunate that I had it, and I know I survived it. I know I will survive it, and I know unless you have, I think on average 2.5 comorbidities for people who died. That means like you're 80 years old and you have cancer, or you have diabetes and you have cancer, or I don't know, you like the show How I Met Your Mother and you have syphilis. There's a bunch of things you could have, but it's the average is 2.5. I have 0. I'm 34. I'm not overweight. I'm in good shape, and that's the decision I made. I got to tell you though, I was shocked. So far nobody has accepted that decision I've made until I was on the telephone the other day with my grandmother. She's 84. Obviously, she's going to get the vaccine. She's a stubborn woman. She's a stubborn son of a gun. She's a Trump supporter. She's a Republican. She knows her views and her values and her thoughts, and she's a tough son of a bitch. And I was like, she asked me, she goes, she's very opinionated, love her to death, but she goes, when are you getting the vaccine? And I said, I'm just tired of lying to people. Because people ask me, I go, oh, I don't know, I'll wait till the old people get it. But and I guess I wasn't certain until recently I made my decision. But she said, when are you getting the vaccine? I was like, just fucking be honest. Stop lying to people and yourself. So I said, I'm not getting it. And she goes, well, that's your body and your choice. And I'm not kidding you. I almost started crying. I actually started tearing up in the back of an Uber. Not because of the fucking car scent things, which make me cry sometimes. The car freshener. She just said, oh, it's your choice. And that's all she said. She just said, oh, that's it's your decision. And I was like, oh my God, man. It was, I wanted to hug her. I wanted to give her a hug. So, I don't know what happened to my body, my choice. What happened to that? That's out the window for this thing. That's going to affect almost no one under the age of 50. We're possessed by this. We're possessed. It's scary. And it's the media's fault. I don't blame it. I'm not judging anybody. I got caught up in it until I just stopped watching it all. My body, my choice. When are you getting it? When? It's not even, are you getting it? Do you feel comfortable getting it? It's when. What day are you getting it? Where are you going? What's the location? What's the brand you're getting? Whoa. Back it up. Beep, beep, beep. Back it up. I can't imagine, when are you getting it? I don't know. When are you going to stop doing cocaine 6 days a week? When are you getting the vaccine? I don't know. When are you going to stop doing Molly on a Tuesday night? When are you going to stop fucking 30 guys from Grindr on a Wednesday? I don't know. I'm not going to judge your life. A lot of people in my life do really fucked up things, in my opinion, but it's their life. So they're allowed to do whatever they want. But for some reason, we just crossed the line into you're allowed to judge the fuck out of people anywhere around this COVID situation. I've had enough of it, man. Life is hard enough, man. Most people lost their jobs, their livelihoods, they're depressed, and then you have people just poking them like, why don't you have a mask on your dick? Where's your dick mask? What if your dick coughs? It kills my grandma. So, thank you, Grandma. Thank you, Grandma. It's very sweet of her. I can't believe it. Out of all the people in my life, she's the last person I thought would say that. I was like guarding my soul when I told her, and your body, your choice. Yep, your body, your choice. When are you going to get an abortion? What? Yeah, when are you going to get an abortion? What are you talking about? Well, you're unemployed, you're having a kid. I don't know, like, what? When are you going to get the abortion? Why are you talking about what I'm going to do with my body? Why? When are you getting the vaccine? When are you getting the abortion? When are you getting when are you getting the abortion? I don't want this mysterious thing going into my arm. You probably don't want tongs coming in and ripping out a fetus from me. I know that's an extreme one. I overreached there. You see what I did there? Huh? I really did a fucking government overreach there. But I'm not allowed to edit that out. Can't edit it. That's a rule, guys. That's a rule I had when I started doing this podcast was I'm not allowed to edit it. Because that's another one of the reasons, and I discover them all the time, why I do the podcast, is that I'm so afraid of having to censor myself all the time. So I said, if I do this, maybe I'm repeating myself, but if I do this, I'm not going to edit it because I'm just not, And I was paranoid about that for a long time because you got guys like Shane Gillis who got fired from SNL. I mean, at this point, I have to just accept I've openly joked about pretty much every topic known to man. So if one day I get a role on a sitcom or a show or this or that, there's already enough to be clipped out to end my career. So now just fuck it all. I don't give a shit anymore. I'm going to say what I want. I'll listen to feedback and stuff, but I'm so tired of living in the fear of being canceled, and so that's it. At this point, I'd rather explore ideas that I've been afraid to talk about, open up about things in my life, make jokes about whatever is happening in the world, regardless of who it's about or what group or race or gender or sexuality. I'd rather go for that full force than be on a network TV show. And that's the opposite of what my goals were for my whole career. But I don't know, I had this thought. I just got an audition for a role in a DreamWorks animated movie. A very popular, reoccurring DreamWorks animation movie. The role of I think it's a bird of some sort. And I was like, man, if I was famous and they can just go and read all my tweets and watch my podcast, like I might not get to be in that movie. And I don't think I'm extreme with my comedy, but that was kind of a frightening thought. That was a frightening thought. If I had a level of fame, or let's say my career grows exponentially, if I go on the path that I'm setting out, and none of it's for fame, but it is for, I would like to perform for as many people as possible. So that's just sort of by default. I believe fame would be a part of that, should it happen. And then I started auditioning for, I love voiceover. That's a dream of mine. Get to a place where I'm consistently auditioning for these Pixar and DreamWorks and these movies. It's just scary to think that you can be removed for having a political stance or a joke about whatever. The list of protected groups now is growing and growing and growing. And let me ask you, what have you done to stop Asian hate this week? Look at me. What have you done to stop Asian hate? I posted hashtag stop Asian hate. What else have you done? I reposted somebody who said stop Asian hate, please. Anything else? I posted a yellow square. Now, that sounds like it would be racist if someone posted a yellow square, doesn't it? I was thinking about that today because I was wondering if there would be a repeat of the black square. And I know associating yellow with Asians is racist, and I agree with that. But I thought, why isn't... Black people aren't black. They're not black. They're not the color black. It's a weird time to lift up the Malcolm X book, but I wasn't. I was lifting it up to show the color black. Like, black people aren't black, just like Asian people aren't yellow. So why is, I'm just talking this out, by the way, why is a black square not racist, but a yellow square, I think would definitely, like, if I posted a yellow square and said stop Asian hate, I would be destroyed. I think. It's just something I'm thinking about. Black okay, yellow not okay. So what I just the thing about the virtue signaling is it makes it easy to feel like you're doing something. That's what I don't like about it. And hey, I'm not claiming that I'm going out and whatever, hiding on rooftops and fighting people who are attacking Asian people. I'm not claiming that either. But unearned moral superiority, I would say, sums up what's happening right now in the world. Unearned moral superiority. So let's say somebody tweeted stop Asian hate and then somebody else didn't. They instantly can feel morally superior to the other person. But what does that actually do? Does it actually do anything? Like, is there a guy who is going to go beat up an Asian person and then saw a sign that said hashtag stop Asian hate? It's like, oh shit. Whoa. Okay. My bad, dude. I didn't know. I didn't know that hashtag was trending. I'm just going to head home. I just don't think it actually does anything. So, I had the joke about, I have a joke with an Asian in it. It's not a racist joke or joke about Asians per se. And they're like, you're so racist. With all the Asian hate, someone demanded I removed a video. Maybe I told you this too. God, I need to keep notes. I'm not used to doing something consistently. But someone was like, hey, why are you doing this? Why you can't even have a story with an Asian person in it? I'm like, you're fucking insane. You're insane. Like, what are you doing to stop it? I'm like, dude, if I don't know, I get massages a lot, as you know. I don't think that's stopping Asian hate, but I'm giving money to Asians. To me, that's better than just putting a hashtag out. I've been going to Asian massage parlors since COVID began. I'm at least giving money to Asian people. That's better than a hashtag, I think. And the guy that shot up this massage parlor, am I really going to get into this? I'm 45 minutes in. Okay, God. Maybe I'll briefly talk about it because I thought, man, they had such a great opportunity to... and look, there may have been I haven't looked into it. From what the cops said in the beginning, where they said they didn't see any evidence it was racially based. See, this is my issue with the media is... When that happened, well, first he did kill a white person. I believe he killed a Hispanic person, and then he killed 6 Asian people. Without without looking at what happened and looking at this guy's history and stuff, you really can't. It's just so easy to say it was racially motivated, and it might have been, and they may have concluded it. I haven't looked it up. But my issue is that they were like, this fucking white guy. Racist white guy. What happens the next week? First of all, they just called the guy white. I saw the side of his face. I knew he wasn't white, and I'm like, what the fuck? They're just going, another white guy. The media loves it. Man, when it was announced he wasn't white, all white men were just like, oh, thank God. Just a week off. We just were like, a week off from being the devil, from being the fucking white devil. But what does the media do? This is the issue I have. He was a Muslim guy, and he killed, I believe it was 8 white people. I think they were all white. Okay, so why isn't that a Muslim person who hates white people? Why wasn't that racially motivated? Because that's not the narrative they want to drive home. The narrative they want to drive home is white people are the devil. White supremacy is the biggest threat in this country. And that's all they're going to attack. And so you had this contradiction the following week when suddenly they find out he's Muslim, and suddenly the race of the person, skin color it's irrelevant. It's irrelevant. So like at least have the same standards. That's my point. But I thought they had a opportunity once again to talk about the effects of mental health. They didn't. Nothing. There's nothing about it. Oh, he may have been. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, hey, we have a mental health crisis in our country. I don't think you can go shoot up a massage parlor or a grocery store and kill a large group of people without having mental illness involved. So let's fucking talk about it. It's just a perpetual problem. They're not going to talk about it. It's just the AR-15 is the problem, and I'm sure that is a problem, but there's also a mentally ill person that has the gun. They didn't talk about it. And then you had this bit of information come out that the guy was a sex addict. Brush that aside. Okay. Well, those are two major problems I'd say in the world. Porn addiction, which then leads to sex addiction. It's a drug. It is a drug. There were studies done that the chemicals released in your brain from having sex or watching porn, the chemicals released were compared to the chemicals released when doing crack cocaine. It's highly, highly, highly addictive, and it's highly dangerous. And kids are watching it younger and younger and younger. All right? So now erectile dysfunction is through the roof amongst young men right now because they start watching porn young. I'm just lucky. I don't know. I've had a problem keeping my boners down. That's just, hashtag blessed, I guess. But a lot of people are watching porn. Now they are completely desensitized so that their sexual acts by default have to become more and more extreme with women. And obviously that's a recipe for disaster. And then you have to keep, like with any drug, you have to keep pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. Sex addiction is a real problem, and it's too taboo for this stupid fucking country to talk about. New York Times said, oh, no way. We concluded there's no way sex addiction could lead to this. That's incorrect. It's incorrect. I was with a friend of mine who's an addict, and I'm an addict, by the way. I am an addict. I've been struggling with addiction since I was 10. I was addicted to cigarettes. I was addicted to porn. I became addicted to alcohol and marijuana. Thank God, I don't know what happened. I think I got lucky in some ways, not without tragedy in my life. I saw a lot of my friends die or go to jail, and I think it was enough to wake me up to not get involved in that stuff. But this absolutely could lead to the spiral that ends in a shooting. And I know addicts. I know a lot of addicts. I'm in support groups. I'm in 12-step programs. People come into these programs absolutely in the depths of hell, destroyed. Either the family's been destroyed already, or they're hanging by a thread, and this is a last attempt to not just absolutely obliterate their life and their relationships and their job. When I was, after this happened, walking with my friend who's also an addict in 12-step programs, we just kind of looked at each other like, yeah, like we get it. We understand. This can happen to any addict should their addiction get out of control. You can quickly destroy your life and destroy the life around everyone around you. Okay, so now you have no life, you have no job, you've ruined your marriage, you've ruined your relationship with your children, you're out of control, you're miserable, you're poor because you're spending all your money on your addiction, you're at risk of getting evicted. This guy got kicked out of his parents' house. He's on the computer all day watching porn. You have no friends, you have no quality of life. You become more and more and more isolated. It's just a positive feedback loop, just feeds itself until you become more and more and more alone. You lose your mind, you develop a mental illness, and you're suicidal. And it's not too far from suicidal to wanting to go out and take other people out with you. Because if you feel like there's no point in living and there's no point of life, well, what's the big deal? Wiping out a few people on your way out. It happens all the time. That's what a lot of these mass shootings are all about. And unfortunately, because they get so much press, it's a guarantee that if you take part in that, then you get all you become you become a part of world history instantly. So I thought it was criminal. I thought it was absolutely just such a misstep to convey that this couldn't happen from somebody that has a sex addiction. Because go to a 12-step program. Go sit into a meeting. They're public. I mean, I can't say which ones I'm in because they're based on anonymity. Go sit in a 12-step program. You're gonna see and hear things that will shock you for the rest of your life. And these programs save people's lives. And this guy apparently was in. I'm not defending the sex addiction leading to murdering people. I'm just saying, if you know addiction and if you've been an addict and you are in these programs and you hear the stories, this could happen to anyone. That's fucking terrifying. It's really scary. That's why addicts usually remain in these programs, because they understand, okay, I'm not using anymore. I'm not doing this drug. I'm not drinking. I'm not watching porn. I'm not, hiring prostitutes. But I know I take my finger off that button and it can happen instantly. So I just thought it was such just so unfortunate that what a great time to just have a conversation about that nationally. It'll never happen, and then this will just be a perpetual problem forever. So, all right, guys, maybe I should have had tea today. And speaking of sex addicts and such, I don't know if this is still happening. I should have looked this up, but I know as of last week, Kamala Harris was planning to meet with Bill Clinton to discuss women empowerment. You want me to repeat that? Kamala Harris was slated to meet with former President Bill Clinton, who was impeached for getting a blowjob from an intern during his presidency at the Oval Office, who's been accused of sexual misconduct, abuse, and rape, was meeting with the current vice president to talk about women's empowerment. Guys, that would be like if Kamala Harris met with Bill Clinton to talk about women's empowerment. Was Cosby not available? Couldn't get Jeffrey Epstein on the line? What happened there? Ghislaine Maxwell? Was she booked? Was Woody Allen not available? Was he working on his 900th movie? Couldn't get him? Bogus, guys. Bogus. Let me try to think of another example of what that would be like. That would be, this is better. Kamala Harris meeting with okay, this is good. Kamala Harris meeting with Bill Clinton to talk about women's empowerment would be like Kamala Harris meeting with Bill Clinton to talk about women's empowerment. And on that note, we're going to end the show because, man, we're going long. But, hey, thanks so much for listening, guys. And patreon.com/Tyler Talks. If you want to support the show, you can pick whatever amount you want to pay each month. And that includes the show. Includes the my podcast first. Please subscribe. Please hit the notification bell. And tell me when you're getting the vaccine. If you want to listen to this show next week, you need to show me your passport.